Okay, Swell. So you are not present in today's class, so I am going to teach you the constructor concept, okay, and other some concept, okay, in Java. So let's start, okay. Now, okay, hmm. Okay. So first of all, what I will do is that I will first create a class, okay. Uh, Let me create a project first. So go to file and from there Java project, next, choose next, give the project name. You can say that constructor concept. I'm giving the name as constructor concept. Then click on finish. Okay, click on finish, and here they are they are saying to create a module name, but you do not need to create, so don't create. So after creating the project, what I have to do is that I have to right click on that project constructor concept and then go to new and then go to class. Okay, so I have to create a class, that is I have to create a Java file. So I have to give a name of the class. For example, I'm giving name of the class is example. Okay, and I want to create a main method inside it, so for that reason I'm creating the main method inside it. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is that here you can find that this is the my basic code that they have generated. Okay, so I will remove the public part because right now public is not necessary for the class, so I'm removing that public word. Okay, so now you can easily recognize this particular structure. This is the general syntax of class definition. It is a class definition of example, and this class contains only one method, that is main method. Okay, that is main method. Because why we have main method here, because we have to execute this program, and to execute this program we need main method, because we know that execution starts from main. So here what I will do is that I have already discussed in the last class what is constructor and what why it is actually used. So what also in today's class I will also again discuss that thing particularly. So what I'm trying to say is that here uh, constructor is like a member method. Okay, is like a member method which initializes an object. Okay, when it initializes an object, during its creation. Okay, now suppose I am creating an object. I told you how to create an object. Okay, I told you how to create an object. So uh, suppose I am creating an object of this class example. E is the object name, equals to new example. Okay, new example. Now what I am trying to do is that here example E equals to new example. Here what I am trying to do is that I'm trying to create a object E. Okay, I have created that object. Okay, now here I told you that new is a keyword. New is a keyword or operator, you can say operator, which is actually used to create object dynamically or at runtime. When we actually execute our code, at that time we actually create the object will be created in the memory. In the memory means RAM, the primary memory. Okay, now this example, this part, I am highlighting that particular part. This part will actually become uh, what you can say. You can say that this is the constructor. This is the constructor. Now you didn't define constructor in your class. Then also, then also your Java program or your Java compiler will provide a by default constructor. Default constructor will be provided by the Java itself. That's why it will give you no error. If you run this particular application, then it will say to save this code. After saving, it will run successfully. Okay, as I didn't display anything, that's why no such things came in the console, but this executed successfully. There is no kind of error at all. Okay, now if we want to create our own constructor, then what I have to do is that first of all I have to define a constructor. And how I can define a constructor? Always remember, constructor name and the constructor name will be same as the class name. Okay, always remember this thing. Constructor name, always remember the class name, and constructor is a member, is the one of the member method. Okay, one of the member method, you can say that one of the member method. Okay, now, so this is the constructor. So this is the constructor. So here you can write system.out.println, system.out.println, okay, println, and then within quote you can write uh, object created. Suppose you are writing object created. Okay, now, why you are writing this? Because you want to see, whenever you will execute, whenever you will want to create an object, whenever you want to create an object, now on, from now on, as you have defined constructor in your class, the built-in constructor or Java, that Java provides, the default constructor will not be applied in this case. Whenever you are defining a constructor on your own in the class, at that time Java will use this constructor during the creation of your object of that class. So if I execute this program right now, after saving it by pressing Ctrl plus S, if you execute this program, if you run this program, it will say object created. It will say object created. Okay, that means what happened is that means this particular portion of code executed. Why this particular portion of code executed? Because whenever you are creating a constructor, that constructor will automatically will be fired during the creation of object. Here that code is written. This example is actually indicating about this constructor that you have defined. Okay, now this constructor, I am not passing any kind of parameters. I have told that constructor are same as member method. Now I told you that member method can have parameters, like for example main method. Look, for main method it has a parameter. This is a parameter, or argument. That means I'm sending some input to this particular main function. I can send some input to the main function. For that reason I'm saying that is an argument or parameter. Now now if we want to pass some parameter inside a constructor, then I can also do that. Okay, if I want to pass some parameter, then I can also do that. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that look, look here. uh, yes, I am doing another constructor. I'm declaring another constructor, that is example, and here I want to pass some character or some integer value. Suppose int x. I want to pass an integer, and inside the constructor, what I'm trying to do is that I want to print I want to print the value of x. Okay, during object creation. Okay, during object creation. So here the value of x is, then give a plus sign for concatenation, and then write x, and then give a semicolon. So this is the thing I want to do. Now look how I am creating the next object, another object. Example, then suppose f equals to new example. Now inside this parenthesis I will pass one parameter, that is an integer value, because I have declared I want to use this parameterized constructor to initializes the object. Okay, initializes an object at creation, during creation time. Okay, during creation time. So I want to pass a value inside this, that is an integer value, for example 5, and then give a semicolon, and press Ctrl S and execute this program, and you will find the difference. Look, it is saying that the value of x is 5. Why it is saying 5? Because when you are creating this object, you are using this constructor. Now this constructor is similar to this particular constructor. Okay, this constructor is similar to this particular constructor, and that's why this constructor will be called, not this, not this. Why this not will be called? Because you are actually passing a parameter inside this parenthesis. That means Java will understand, oh, this constructor has a parameter. That means, so parameterized constructor will be called, or parameterized constructor will be used. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to know. This is the thing that you have to know regarding what you can say, regarding this particular mm, what I can say is that this particular parameterized constructor. Okay, we can use in different scenarios in parameterized constructor. There are so many scenarios where we will use parameterized constructor. For example, if you have to develop a code, if you have to develop a program, okay, there we will see that how actually this parameterized constructor can be used very effectively. That I will show you. Okay, that I will show you. Now, what I am trying to say is that, uh, look, after dealing with parameterized constructor, what I can say is that, uh, for example, suppose suppose I want to do something. Okay, I want to create another class. I want to show you another example. Another program I want to show you. So let's move that to that program. Okay, so I hope that you have understood what is parameterized constructor and what is normal constructor. Okay, if you do not provide these two constructor, if you do not write these two constructor, then also your object is going to be created. Okay, then also your object is going to be created. Okay, why? Because Java will provide the default constructor. But remember one thing, if you remove these two, then you cannot pass any argument from here, because the default constructor doesn't take any argument. Default constructor doesn't take any argument. As a result, you cannot pass 5 whenever you want to create an object. Okay, if you do not write this, like for example, if you are not writing this, at that time it will create an error. Control X, I'm just doing cut, Control X. Now look, it is showing you an error. What error it is showing? It is showing that multiple markers online. Look, it is saying the constructor example within parenthesis int is undefined. Okay, is undefined. That means you didn't define that particular constructor. Okay, because default constructor doesn't take any argument. For that reason, in the above statement, look, here is no sign of error. In the above statement, the selected statement, the higher statement, in this particular statement, no such error is there, because Java default constructor will be applied. Now default constructor do not take any argument, or do not take any input. Actually, when do not take any input means, default constructor, in case of default constructor, we cannot pass any argument because it doesn't take any argument. The default constructor doesn't take any argument. Okay, so we have to define. If I want to pass a parameter, then we have to define a parameterized constructor, and for that reason I have to do this. Then it will not give you any kind of error. Okay, no, now let's move on to the next program. So I'm moving to the next program. Look, uh, create a class called vehicle. I want to create a class called vehicle. In the last class I show you in the last class I hope I show you that how to create a class vehicle, and there how to add 3 different parameters. I show you. I have such that class. Okay, let me check that class I have in my, let me check. Okay, then it will be very much easier for you also and for me also. Let me check. Vehicle.java. Yes. This is the class that I mentioned in the last class. Okay, in the last class, vehicle. So here you can see that there are 3 types of member data: passenger, fuel capacity, and miles per gallon. One is constructor. This is a default constructor. Okay, this is, you can say this is default constructor, but as it is not taking any argument, so you can say that this is a default constructor. And then you can say that this is a member method. This is also a member method. Okay, this is also member method, and a this is actually your main method. Okay, this is actually main method, and in the main method you have defined a we have defined a very object, that is minibus, and minibus, and then we have linked with the dot operator, that is minibus is the object. Now if we want to link with any member, if we want to link any member of the class with an object name, then we have to use the dot operator. So for that reason, minibus dot display data, or suppose I'm creating Innova, then I'm writing that Innova dot display data. Okay, for example, this is the scenario actually. I hope that you have remembered. Then also I will go for creation of a new class, because it will become easy for you. I don't think that you have go through all the things, but it's okay. So first of all, actually what I'm trying to say is that I want to illustrate about the new keyword again. Okay, so if you please make a note, then it will very much easier for me, and it is always easier for you. uh, now write in this way, that the new is an operator. New operator new operator like in this way, like write in this way: new operator can be used to create an object. New operator can be used to create an object of any class type. The new operator the new operator returns a reference. The new operator returns a reference to the newly created object. The new operator returns a reference to the newly created object, which is assigned to the class variable. I'm again saying that new operator can be used to create an object. New operator can be used to create an object of any class type. The new operator returns a reference to the newly created object, which is assigned to class var. Now, what is this? I'm again saying, okay, look very carefully. In this program, when I am trying to create an object of example class, now I am giving a name. Suppose I am giving a name, OB. OB is a short name. Now OB is the class variable. Which is known as object, or OB. You can say that OB is the, or more precisely, you can say that OB is actually uh, contain the reference of the object that is created in the memory. Actually, object is created in the memory. Now the reference of that object is assigned to this variable, this class variable. This class variable means this instance variable. This instance variable means this object. We are actually calling this object, but actually object is created where? In the memory. In the memory it is created. Now, whenever you are writing in this way, what new is actually doing is that what is new is doing? New is actually creating an object, okay, of the class of class example, where in the memory, and after that it will assign the reference of the newly created object to this OB class variable. Reference means, you can say a indirection, means you are not directly assigning the object to this. You are assigning the reference to that object, so that by using this OB, you are actually accessing that object actually. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that you are by using OB, you are actually using that object. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is that there is another topic is known as garbage collection. Okay, there is another topic is known as garbage collection. Okay, now what is garbage collection? Look, garbage collection when occurs. What is garbage collection? Okay, so first of all, very, you have to think very carefully that whenever objects are, as you have seen, actually, as you have seen, objects are dynamically allocated from a pool of from a pool of free memory, okay, by using the new operator. Okay, I just told right now that objects will be dynamically created in the memory, in the pool of memory, okay, in the pool of free memory by new operator. Okay, now what happened is that, now as you know that memory is not infinite, memory is a limit, memory has a limit, memory is not infinite, memory is finite. Now as memory is finite, so the free memory can be exhausted at any time, the free memory can be exhausted at any time. Okay, if you are creating objects repeatedly, if you are creating objects repeatedly at a particular point of time, at a particular point of time, what will happen is that at a particular point of time, the object, the object, or actually what will happen is that the free memory will be exhausted. Okay, free memory will be exhausted, and thus it is possible for new to fail to creation of a new object, because as memory is not available, so new cannot create a new object. New can create an object if memory is free. That means if there is some space, then it can create an object. But if there is no such kind of space, then it will fail to create an object. For that reason, what will happen is that uh, mm, for that reason, actually your total motive, or your total motto will be failed, because you cannot create object and you cannot perform any object oriented programming task or any object oriented programming features. You cannot perform because as there is no such memory left. Okay, so for that reason, what will happen is that, for that reason, you have to uh, clear the memory space. You have to clear the memory space, and garbage collection is the made for that particular task. Okay, now Java's garbage collection system reclaims the objects automatically. Okay, automatically, that means it is actually occurring transparently, it is actually occurring transparently. You can say Java's garbage collection system reclaims objects automatically. That means there is a transparency, there is a transparency, clear transparency. Okay, now uh, what is that, what you can say is that in this case you can say that garbage collection occurs only sporadically, garbage collection occurs only sporadically during the execution of our program, during the execution of our program, and it will not occur simply because one or more objects exist and that are no longer used. Okay, तुम्हारा एक कब occur करेगा गार्बेज कलेक्शन तुम्हारा occur करेगा तभी जब तुम्हारा जावा सोचेगा कि मेरा पास नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करने के लिए मेमोरी बाकी नहीं है. That means the memory is already exhausted. That means the memory is already exhausted. No such memory space is left, and as a result, the new will fail. In that scenario, the Java's garbage collection system will automatically reclaim its objects. That means it will make free space by removing uh, the objects which are not needed or which are not useless, which are actually useless. Actually, you can say which are actually useless. Okay, so for that reason, what I'm trying to say is that you can say that for efficiency, the garbage collector will usually run only when the two conditions are met. Okay, you can write, you can take a note of this. Uh, Take a note of this in this way. For efficiency, the garbage collection, the garbage collector, you can say the garbage collector will usually run only when two conditions are met. There are objects to recycle. There are objects to recycle. Number one, and there is a need to recycle them. If there is an object to be recycled, then the garbage collection will happen. And if there is a need of recycle them, That means if there is no such space left and they have to recycle, so for that reason garbage collection will occur. Okay, so garbage collection takes time. You have to remember that in garbage collection Java will take time. Okay, so Java runtime and environment, or Java runtime system, you can say Java runtime system or Java runtime environment JRE, will do whenever or when it is appropriate. That means when it will be appropriate, at that time this particular system will run, and the garbage collection or the for garbage collection will be taken place, because to clear the memory. As we know, the memory is not finite, so for that reason, to clear the memory, or to clear the to recycle the object, sorry, or to recycle the object, then Java's garbage collection system will actually will happen actually, or will occur. Okay, now after garbage collection, what I'm trying to say is that there is another concept is known as this keyword. Okay, this keyword, this. Okay, now this keyword, why we are saying this keyword is very much important is that this actually what I can say is that, look, when I am calling a method, or you can say when a method is called, when a method is called, this keyword, under this keyword I am saying this. Okay, now when a method is called, it is automatically passed an implicit argument that is a reference to the invoking object. Okay, suppose I can show you. First write it down, then first write it down, then I will show you one example. I will show you one example. Okay, on this keyword, on this keyword. Okay, now look, uh, look, as what I can say is that when a method is called, it is automatically passed an implicit, write down, when a method is called, it is automatically passed an implicit argument that is a reference to the invoking object. Invoking object means the object on which the method is called, the object on which the method is called, within bracket में ये लिखो. So मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, when a method is called, it is automatically passed an implicit argument that is a reference to the invoking object, okay, within bracket, that is the object on which the method is called, that is the object on which the method is called. This reference is called, this reference is called this keyword, this reference is called this keyword, this reference is called this keyword. Okay, now to understand this keyword, you have to look into this particular example. Suppose I want to create a class. Okay, let me now create one program. Let me create one program first. Okay, uh, so I will go to the new, and then I will go to the class, and from there I am going to create a class called power. For example, I'm going to create a class called power. Okay, here what I'm trying to say is that, what I'm trying to do is that, here we have a main function, and please remove the public. Public is not needed right now. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a class. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is that, here I will uh, take three member variable, take three member variable, double, okay, double b, then double b comma, double b comma val, then int, int e. Okay, I'm just taking randomly. Okay, just taking randomly. Okay, now what I will do is that I will create a constructor. Okay, I will create a constructor. Now actually, here power means exponent. Okay, here power means exponent. I am talking about exponent. So what I am trying to do is that I want to create a constructor power, and which will be parameterized constructor. So here it will take double value, double b, or you can say that double base. You are saying base, and then you are writing double. exponent for exponent I'm writing exp, and then second bracket, sorry, ओके सो हियर दिस इज द कंस्ट्रक्टर। देखो यहाँ पे देखो यहाँ पे मैं पैरामीटर्स कंस्ट्रक्टर किया हूँ, यहाँ पे दोनों पैरामीटर पास कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए दैट इज कॉल्ड पावर पैरामीटर्स कंस्ट्रक्टर। देखो क्यों मैं पैरामीटर्स कंस्ट्रक्टर बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि इसका नेम देखो, फंक्शन का नेम, कंस्ट्रक्टर का नेम है क्लास नेम के साथ सेम। ओके, और मैंने एक बात भी बोला हूँ कि कंस्ट्रक्टर डजंट रिटर्न एनीथिंग। ओके, कंस्ट्रक्टर डज नॉट रिटर्न एनीथिंग एक्सप्लिसिटली, कंस्ट्रक्टर डज नॉट रिटर्न एनीथिंग एक्सप्लिसिटली। ओके, सो फॉर दैट रीजन यहाँ पे तुमको कुछ देना नहीं है, जैसे कि हम लोग यहाँ पे दिया है void for main function as I have given main, सो बट यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं देना है। ओके, सो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं पावर में इस यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे तुम कर सकते हो ऐसे, तुम कर सकते हो क्या, क्या कर सकते हो यहाँ पे, तुम कर सकते हो क्या, तुम यहाँ पे और भी तुम एक काम कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे क्या कर सकते हो तुम, यहाँ पे जो तुम कर सकते हो वो है तुम्हारा, सपोज यहाँ पे मैं b इक्वल्स टू बेस डाल रहा हूँ, मतलब जो पैरामीटर आएगा मैं उसका बेस का वैल्यू जो आएगा वो मैं बी में डालूंगा, ई का वैल्यू होगा जो एक्स में जो आएगा वो होगा ई का वैल्यू, देन तुम्हारा एक्सपी, ओके ओके सॉरी दिस विल बी इंटीजर, otherwise it will give you error, integer, okay, exp will be integer। Now after that what you can do is that first assign val equals to 1, okay, val equals to 1। now if if exp अगर मेरा 0 होता है तो देन क्या करूँगा मैं, देन कुछ नहीं, रिटर्न कर दूंगा, रिटर्न। एल्स क्या करूँगा, एल्स मैं करूँगा, मैं एक्सपोनेंट निकालूंगा। तो यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ पे मैंने फॉर सेमीकोलन, ओके, फॉर सेमीकोलन exp greater than 0 semicolon, then exp minus minus, okay, minus minus, what I am doing is that यहाँ पे मैंने एक तो स्टेटमेंट डाल रहा हूँ val equals to, actually I am performing I am calculating the exponent, okay, that means suppose the base is 2 and exponent is 3, that means 2 to the power 3, that means it will compute 8, so that reason I am just doing this, val equals to uh, val into base, okay, val into base, okay, so this is the thing I am trying to do, okay, and now when I am also creating one method whose return type will be double, and the function name will be get pow, get underscore pow, okay. Now this will return, sorry, control Z, this will return the return val, okay, return val। now this is the things, this is the look, देखो मैंने कंस्ट्रक्टर कैसे डिफाइन किया, देखो this is the constructor I have defined, okay, this is the constructor I have defined here। मैंने क्या किया, मैंने बेस जो आया मेरा एज ए पैरामीटर उसको मैं बी में डाला, exp जो आया मेरा पैरामीटर उसको मैं ई में डाला, उसके बाद मैंने एक इफ कंडीशन डाला, इफ कंडीशन मैंने मतलब सिलेक्शन स्टेटमेंट डाला, सिलेक्शन स्टेटमेंट में मैं क्या किया, चेक किया, मैंने कंडीशन चेक किया क्या मेरा exp अगर 0 होता है तब मैं रिटर्न कर दूंगा, मतलब अगर 0 है तब कुछ करना ही नहीं है ना, 0 exp 0 मतलब क्या, टू द पावर 0 मतलब क्या होगा, 1 होगा, तो मतलब कुछ करना नहीं है। तो एल्स में क्या डाला मैंने, फॉर लूप, एल्स में क्या डाला, फॉर लूप डाला। तो फॉर लूप में क्या है, फॉर लूप में देखो एक तो तुम चीज देखोगे, फॉर लूप में अगर नोटिस करोगे तो देखोगे वहां पे देखो तुम्हारा इनिशियलाइजेशन पार्ट नहीं है, देखो इनिशियलाइजेशन पार्ट तुम्हारा नहीं है। मतलब क्यों नहीं है, क्योंकि तुम पहले ही इनिशियलाइज कर चुके हो ई इक्वल्स टू एक्सपोनेंट, ओके। और एक्सपोनेंट का वैल्यू पहले से ही है, तो इसके लिए मेरे को उसको इनिशियलाइज नहीं करना है, दैट इज ऑलरेडी इनिशियलाइज्ड, दैट्स व्हाई आई डू नॉट नीड टू इनिशियलाइज अगेन, क्योंकि एक्सपी का वैल्यू तो तुम दे रहे हो, तुम तो दोगे, एक्सपी का वैल्यू तुम दोगे, तो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दैट कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है मेरा यहाँ पे एसपी का वैल्यू देने के लिए, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे मैंने एक फंक्शन किया, देखो कुछ नहीं किया फंक्शन में, जस्ट फंक्शन जस्ट मैं किया, वहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, फंक्शन का नाम दिया हूँ गेट पाव, उस फंक्शन कोई पैरामीटर नहीं दे रहा है, सिर्फ रिटर्न कर रहा है, क्या डबल रिटर्न कर रहा है, डबल वैल्यू रिटर्न कर रहा है, और क्या रिटर्न कर रहा है ना, रिटर्न वैल, ओके, रिटर्न वैल कर रहा है। तो अभी मेन फंक्शन का जरूरत नहीं है, मेन फंक्शन का काम बाद में आएगा। नाउ व्हाट आई कैन डू इज दैट, हियर हम लोग ऐसे लिख रहे हैं, तो हम लोग ऐसे लिख रहे हैं, तो अब क्या करूँगा मैं, अब क्या करूँगा यहाँ पे जब मैं कर रहा हूँ तो क्या होगा, यहाँ पे मैं वैल कर रहा हूँ, तो जब वैल यूज कर रहा हूँ, वैल इक्वल्स टू बेस कर रहा हूँ, सब कुछ कर रहा हूँ। तो अगर मेरे को बोलना है, जैसे कि समझ लो मैं यहाँ पे कोई एक ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया हूँ पावर क्लास का, पावर इन मेन मेथड पावर क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ, पावर ई और पावर ओ बी equals to power new power, okay, semicolon, give semicolon, okay, let me check, yes, it will give definitely. So I'm giving 2 comma 3, that means I want to perform 2 to the power 3, okay, I want to perform 2 to the power 3. Now when you will ob dot get power, so ob.getPower I will call, okay. After doing this, save this particular thing, okay, save this and run, okay. It will return, but here it will not showing, it will show if you give a system.out.println, if you write sysout, and then inside sysout if you will put this, control X and control V, then what will happen is that, then okay, let me check, one bracket is missing, yes, now it is okay. So now execute it and you will find that 8.0. Why it is showing 8.0? Because it is in double, so that reason it is showing 0.0, okay. That means 2 to the power 3 is actually occurred, 2 to the power 3 actually occurred, and due to that reason we are getting 8.0. Just we are calling just ob.getPower. Now here inside this constructor we are writing b equals to base, b equals to exponent, or e equals to exponent, okay. Now I can here write also this dot, this keyword, this dot, this means, इसको यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है हम लोग, दिस मीन्स यहाँ पे हम लोग जिस ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू हम लोग कॉल कर रहा है, यहाँ पे किसको कॉल कर रहा है, किसको क्रिएट कर रहा है, ओबी को, तो ओबी को क्रिएट कर रहा है, तो मतलब ओबी का बेस कितना हुआ, ओबी का बेस, ये हम लोग समझ जा रहा है, ठीक है। मतलब हम इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं, हम लोग ऐसे भी यहाँ पे दिस डॉट करके भी लिख सकते हैं इसको, हमने सिर्फ ऐसे लिखा था, तो b इक्वल्स टू बेस, b e इक्वल्स टू एक्सपोनेंट, वैल इक्वल्स टू 1 लिखा था ऐसे। नाउ हम लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं, हम लोग बोल रहे हैं क्या, हम लोग उसको दिस डॉट बी, दिस डॉट ई, दिस डॉट वैल ऐसे करके भी लिख सकते हैं, ऐसे करके भी मैं लिख सकता हूँ, ठीक है, ऐसे करके भी मैं लिख सकता हूँ, इसीलिए मैं ये यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ, ओके। अब ये मेरा बहुत काम में आएगा, दिस कीवर्ड मेरा बहुत काम में आएगा। दिस कीवर्ड में क्या बोला मैं, दिस कीवर्ड में मैं बोला कि मेरा यहाँ पे मेरा जो रेफरेंस है ना, पहले लाइन में तुमको बोला हूँ, देखो मैंने बोला हूँ व्हेन अ मेथड इज कॉल्ड इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली पास्ड एन इम्प्लिसिट आर्गुमेंट दैट इज अ रेफरेंस टू द इन्वोकिंग ऑब्जेक्ट, मतलब when a particular method is called, okay, through the object, an implicit argument, okay, विल बी पास्ट, ऑटोमेटिकली पास्ट। मेरे को कुछ कुछ करना नहीं है, मेरे को कुछ करना नहीं है। एक आर्गुमेंट पास होगा, जो एक रेफरेंस होगा किसका, जो एक रेफरेंस होगा किसका, रेफरेंस होगा कॉलिंग ऑब्जेक्ट का। जो ऑब्जेक्ट मेथड को कॉल कर रहा है, जो मेथड को बुला रहा है काम करने के लिए, उसका रेफरेंस होगा। और उसका रेफरेंस को हम लोग बोलते हैं दिस कीवर्ड दिए हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। उसका उसका जो रेफरेंस है, उसका रेफरेंस को हम लोग बोलता है क्या, दिस कीवर्ड से हम लोग, मतलब हम लोग एक्चुअली हम लोग बोलते हैं कि दिस इज दिस बाय दिस कीवर्ड वी एक्चुअली depict that reference. Okay, okay. So this is the thing that you have to know. So what you have learned today, you have learned how to deal with constructor, how to deal with parameterized constructor, how to deal with uh, garbage collection, how to deal with the new operator, and you also learned about the this keyword. You have, there are so many things are there, there are so many things are there. Okay, so you can say in this way, there are so many questions can come, there are so many questions can come from this particular topic. Okay, from this particular topic, because what is this operator, what is this keyword, why it is used, you have to show it with the example. You have to show it with the example, because this is one of the most vital point, this is one of the most vital point that you have to actually work with. Okay, so for that reason I am saying that this is most important part. Okay, so I hope that you have understood in today's class. I will upload this session. As you are not present, I am not going for further discussion, because it will be too much hectic for you. I don't know that you are going through those all those video lectures or not. The last day I have already uploaded, but today also I will upload this lecture video. But I hope that you should at least try at your home, so that you can actually mm, do these things, do these programs. Okay, otherwise it will be very much difficult for you, very much difficult for you, for you. So for that reason, please go through it, and I'm again saying it. Okay, so okay, then I'm not continuing anymore for today's class. Okay, I hope that you are going through this class. Okay, so let's conclude this class.